Welcome to the Copilot Cafe. In this session, we are going to be talking about Copilot Chat. So we're going to talk a bit about what is it, where can you find it, but also how it connects you to graph data. What's graph data, you ask? Well, I'm going to explain that too. So let's go and take a look. So I'm going to take you through M365 Copilot Chat, and this box that you're seeing here is Teams. So it's in multiple places. I'm going to touch on that in a second. I've got the dark mode on here, but you'll see in the left-hand side here, I've got my little Copilot button, and I can access lots of information from this box. And we're going to go and have a look in here. I'm also going to take you through what you can do here in this prompting box, but thinking about the data that you can get from the graph. What is the graph, I hear you say? Well, as I always start my sessions, I'm always talking about where does Copilot get all this great information from? Well, it takes it from a number of places. It takes it from the M365 apps that you know and love, like PowerPoint, Word, Teams, OneNote, Outlook, Excel, to name just a few. There are more. So it knows what you're doing there and the kind of information you're sharing. It also takes information from large language models. So what has it been trained on? So it's read the internet plus other resources, and it has loads of great information there. And then you've got the Microsoft Graph. Now, the Microsoft Graph is where all your communications information is stored. So things like the people that you interact with, the meetings that you've got, your calendar, your emails, your chats, your transcriptions from meetings, all your communication history and activity, it's all stored in that graph, which is fantastic because for us, that means that we can now ask Copilot to go and find information from that data. So we can ask it to go and look in that last meeting and pull that transcript, or who did I speak to about this? It can answer lots and lots of great information. And we're going to go and have a look at that. Now, you might hear this be called graph grounded chat. So I'm calling it Copilot Chat. Its actual name at the moment is called M365 Graph Grounded Chat. Quite a long name. I think that will probably change. For the purposes of this session, we're just going to call it Copilot Chat. And in this demo, I'm going to take you through using the graph. So how do we use the graph to get the best information from Copilot? And we're going to look at people's files, meetings, and also thinking about how we can ask Copilot to just help us brainstorm. Now, let's just start by looking at Copilot Chat in Teams and think about how we navigate around it, just to start off with. So I'm in Teams. I've got dark mode on. You can see here I'm in the chat, and in the chat I've got the Copilot button at the top. It takes up quite a lot of space, this chat box, but you'll also see in the center here I've got my recommended prompts, and then I've got the new chat button, and I've also got the ability to look at my Copilot chat history, which is great. But it does mean when all of this is opened, so you've got this big space taken up here and the chats on the side, this space becomes quite small. So I like to use the Copilot app. Now, if it's not pinned already, like I've got it at the top here, you can go down to the three dots and you can just search for Copilot. So I can see it there, so I'll just select it. And then I right click it and pin it, so I make sure I see it all the time, and then just pop it at the top there because I use it every day. Okay, so you can see I've got all of this space now to play with. Even if I open the chat history, I've still got a lot to play with compared to if I go into the chat Copilot box. Yeah, there's definitely a lot more space by having it in the app. It's the same thing, it's just showing you in different ways. So let's go back to the Copilot screen here. Now, you've got all the different prompts you can try, and these are well worth a go. They change all the time. It's great at just inspiring you to learn more about prompting or giving you something to start with that you can then build on. You've also got the view prompts box here. So if I click on that, you'll see there's a number of different prompts in there that you can bookmark. And then when you click on your save prompts, you're going to see the ones you bookmarked, and you can also filter these too. So pretty simple prompts to get you started. Now, this is where the Microsoft Graph comes into play. So in my prompt box here, you'll see I have this plus button. And if I click it, it says I've got access to people, files, meetings, emails. So this is all information that's in the Microsoft Graph. And it means that if I ask a question and I directly point it towards a person or a file or an email or a meeting, Copilot knows exactly where to go to get the information that you're questioning. So it's a really quick and easy way to get really great responses from Copilot. Now you'll see here I have got a paperclip. If I click on the paperclip, it opens this box. If I click on this plus, it opens this box. And if I did a /, it'll open that box. And I like to call this the graph box. I'm not sure what this official name is, but for me, it's a graph box. Okay, so if I wanted to know what is the latest, get rid of that, from / and it's going to do my graph box there. I'm going to click Billy Vesta, which is actually my demo tenant name. So that's the person I'm logged into. It's my demo tenant. I'm going to ask it to have a look. So organized by emails, chats, and files. So what's the latest from me, Billy Vesta, organized by chats, emails, and files. Now, because it's got access to the graph, it's got access to my emails, my chats, my files, I'm hoping it's going to come back with information on what's in my inbox and what I've been recently working on. So if I have a look through here, leadership meeting of Copilot Cafe, marketing strategy, invite to the Microsoft event, we saw that earlier, Copilot Cafe budget concerns, we've talked about that, so we know that that is all relevant. And then chats, some of the chats I've been having, and then some of the files that I've been working on. So all relevant stuff there. Give this a go. So what's the latest from? Add your name, organised by emails, chats and files, and just take a look, see how relevant it is for you. You'll also see here it's giving you some suggestions for follow-up prompts. So I could keep asking more and more questions. One thing to point out here as well, you've got a limit currently of 16,000 characters, so you can't put war and peace in here, but you should have enough space to put what you need. All right, so let's have a look. What else do I need to know? Now, we know there's been lots of questions about the budget for the Copilot Cafe. So what can I do to find out a little bit more? Well, I could ask using if I click on here and I go to files, it's going to show me some of my recent documents. Now, I can see here I've got Copilot Cafe budget. If I didn't have that, but I knew the name of the document, I could start typing it and it would appear. But I'm going to click on Copilot Cafe budget. Please confirm where the bulk of the budget is being used. So it's going directly to that document, and it just showed me the document, and so I know it's definitely the right one. And now it's just giving me a brief of, okay, this is where the bulk of the budget is being used. So digital marketing totals 26k, events and promotions totals 21. So that's a big chunk of that 71k budget. Maybe I want a little bit more than that. So I might just carry on the conversation. So add the budget figures to a table. Brilliant. So that's great. It's giving me a little bit more of a breakdown of where that budget is being spent. All right. Now I want to just ask a little bit more about what's going on with the Copilot Cafe. So another question I might ask is from a meeting that we recently had. So we had a marketing meeting, and I can just click on that because that's one of the ones that are appearing. If it wasn't there, I could search for it. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to ask questions of that meeting. Because that meeting was transcribed, because there'll be things in the chat, it can access all that. So it's going to go away and find that information from me. So I don't have to go back into my calendar, back into recap and go into Copilot there. I can do that from here. So maybe I've got some questions. What were the actions from the... And I've already picked the meeting. Add them to a table of actions. Include owner. Add any expected dates. So again, now it's going into this marketing meeting. Confirms when that happened. All right, brilliant. So these are the actions from that meeting. So finalize marketing strategy, that's owned by me. Prepare a detailed budget breakdown. Coordinate influencers, that's Mario. So you get the idea. I've now got dates and everything. Now we can also ask Copilot to help us brainstorm. I'm not the best person at coming up with a team name when you've got a pub quiz. I can't get past that point. I'm totally just coming up with blanks. This is why Copilot is great at just helping you just be creative. If you're one of those people that builds off others' suggestions, this is going to be great for you. So it could be that actually I want to come up with a catchy slogan for our cafe. So I could say, suggest a catchy slogan of the Copilot Cafe that embodies innovation and community. So let's see what else Copilot comes up with. Brewing innovation, sipping community. Very cool. How about 5 more? Sip the future, share the moment, innovate together, 1 cup at a time. Right, brilliant. So you get the idea. I can ask it lots and lots of questions about everything that it knows from emails and chats and files and meetings. So I could ask it lots and lots of things. It doesn't just have to be about emails, files, chats, etc. But it's my place to go to ask most questions. I find myself in here most days asking, I don't know, Billy shared a great presentation with us recently on how to do Copilot in Outlook. Where can I find that? And if I've got access to it, it's going to share that with me. Copilot Chat is also available in Outlook, whether you're using classic or new. So you can find it down that left-hand rail, so whether that's classic or new. And you can also find it in Edge. And I love it in Edge because you've got this sidebar experience here, which is fantastic, especially if you want to ask questions about certain web pages, PDFs, videos, things like that. Really good. So if you've got Edge, go and check out that sidebar. And then finally, just a prompt for you to go and try today. So using that graph data, what could you go and ask? This might be a mega prompt, so it's quite a large prompt, but think about how it can pull this data. So help me to prepare for today's meeting. I want title, participant, and times. So it knows your calendar, so it can go and find that information. Summarize the content of that meeting based on meeting notes or emails. So if it has that information, which it does, it can pull that too. Attach relevant files. So it knows what files you've got that you might have used that are linked to those meetings. Gather emails and chats. Make a brief summary of bullet points. Identify and list all the emails and chats where I've not responded or I've yet to give a response. and present it all in a really easy to read format. So it's been really good at giving a good structure to the prompt. It's been really clear what the goal is, what I want their context, what I expect it to be, and where it can go and get that information from. So let's just go and have a look and see what that actually looks like. So I've popped in the prompt there. Let's see what it's going to come back with. I've asked it for tomorrow's meetings. I can see the meetings are starting to come up now. Emails relating to tomorrow's meetings. That's quite useful. Unresponded emails and chats. So what have I not replied back to? And also attachments. I really like this prompt. I think there's not a lot of information in my demo tenant. But in my real tenant, this is really valuable. So that's it for this session. I hope you find that useful. Your homework, should you choose to accept it, is to go away and have a play with that graph data. Helping Copilot understand where it can get exactly the information that you're looking for is going to bring you much richer results. So have a play. Let me know in the comments what you find, and I'd love it if you want to share any great prompts that you've come across. Until next time.
Welcome to the Copilot Cafe. Join Jo for a 10-minute stay. Learn new tips every day with demos that light the way.